Hey there. So, what's on the easel today? Well, actually, we've got three paintings of varying sizes. The middle one is 120 by 160. The lower painting is 40 by 60, and the upper painting is I forgot, 20 by 35 or something like that. Anyway, the reason that I'm showing them all together, and you can probably see that already, is that they are echoes of each other, or in some way reusing figures in slightly different poses, or eliminating a figure, just twisting it slightly, and even, as you can see in the middle painting here, creating this kind of echolocation, if you like, or sense of movement, or disappearing as the person moves to the right. So clearly influenced by film and photography, and I never quite know where the how the painting is going to develop. But in order to keep a sense of cohesion, I suppose, it's a useful way for me to use a similar atmosphere, or something where the figures are kind of linked, and that allows me to experiment more freely with the paint as I feel it's either working or not working with the image. And so there are different techniques employed. Here at the top, there's a very initially impressionistic effect, which is then ribboned and splattered with varying levels of thickness of paint. It's sort of like a kind of, and redrawing back into it as it's half dry, and rubbing and smearing it and so on. It looks as if it's been painted fairly fast, but it's actually built up over time. And I like the way that the dulled coloured grey background even is offset against some of the pinks and blues, picking out certain areas of yellow. And again, these colours are dotted and dashed around the area in a more sort of abstract rhythm, if you like. And the middle image, you can see from the gloss on it, this is something that has been built up layer after layer after layer, knowing that certain things were going to be kept, but not quite knowing how others were going to be evolving. So things would either work or not work, and then I'd have to eliminate it as I went along. So it's a process of editing, really, and it led to, so you can see, fairly thick passages despite the sort of simplicity of the background. And then one thing and another led to creation of this sort of window in this odd kind of space where you've got silhouetted out figures and lines and so on, trying to find ways to represent something in the simplest possible way. And then down at the bottom, a clear a clear reference, obviously, to the figures above, to the scene above. This one's called La Pink Slipper, or La Visite. And I'd actually thought that I'd got to a stage where I'd completed it, and then put it aside, came back to it and realized that it was too messy, confusing, and so I made these blocks, again allowing some of the color to almost sort of the randomly picking up some of the colors that are doing things that are already there. So the green and yellow in the dress there, those sort of that flower motif that's on the dress, can then be picked up elsewhere. The blue of the dress goes into some of the shadows of the men's clothing and so on and so forth. And again, bright color laid against muted colored grays. Yeah, so these are part of a series of paintings that I'm hoping to do in a show this year, which will be called Echoes. There we go.